Well, hello everyone. Welcome to Knew It Too from Be So in Oklahoma City.
Welcome, welcome.
Jan and Kaylin here to talk to you about something that I think you're going to love. This is all about the Baby Lock Jubilant sewing machine.
Okay.
It is a fantastic option. This is the machine right here, and it is the first one in the line of Baby Lock machines that is a computerized machine.
Okay.
As opposed to being just straight up knobs and dials mechanical.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to get all of the features of some of the computerized features on a very small scale. So it's a wonderful machine if you're wanting a starter machine, but you're not wanting one that is just a little too basic.
Okay.
And maybe it's a really good one if you're not wanting one that you have to figure out too many bells and whistles on what to do on it, and you just want something that gives you those features, but it's super easy to use. It's an excellent travel machine if you already own a bigger machine.
That makes sense.
This one's great because sometimes when you own the big ones, you don't want to step down so low that you give up some of the features that you've become very accustomed to.
What are some of the features that you don't want to give up?
I don't want to give up speed control.
Oh, sure.
I don't want to give up my needle positioning, the needle up down positioning. I don't want to give up tack stitching.
Oh, okay.
I don't want to give up a needle threader.
A needle threader. Goodness, that's a good one.
This one has twin needle capabilities on it. It also has automatic back stitching that you can put on it.
Okay.
But what's super nice about it is that getting to the stitches is not hard. There's not any of that. How do I program this in? Wait, do I touch this button and then these numbers to get to it? Because you want to see how easy it is?
I do.
Come over this way. All right, so here we are at the Baby Lock Jubilant. She is a pretty one. And I love because it puts the stitches right here on the front, but it also has this little attachable card right here that you can put on the machine. And it shows you the stitches in a much larger type.
Okay.
So that if you're got older eyes and you can't see small print well.
Sure.
I could probably see those with my glasses off. So it has the stitches up there for you as well.
So how do I get to them?
See this little wheel?
I do.
I turn the wheel.
Oh my gosh.
And it goes to all the stitches.
Oh, and look, the needle is even changing.
Yep. And it's super easy to use. So when I'm not having to go, okay, it's in this category and type this number in and all that kind of stuff. If I just want to do a straight stitch, I can just go number 3. And then on the screen here, it's going to show me the presser foot I need to use with it is the J foot.
Okay.
It also shows me that right now I have it set so that the needle's going to, if I stop sewing, it goes into the down position.
Okay.
So that's already on there. And then it shows me my stitch length and stitch width. You see the oval that's on here?
I do.
If you see that oval on there, that means that's the default on it.
Okay.
If I were to move away from it, the oval went away. But if I'm like, oh gosh, I don't even know where I started with it or
just
what normal is, you can just find the oval. Okay. Or if I changed all these and then I went away and came back to it, it's going to go back to default.
Okay.
If I want to use twin needle sewing, then I have to turn that part on and it'll show me the double needles. That makes a difference on how much bobbin thread it's letting go so that it can account for 2 needles going down.
Okay.
And if I want to do automatic back stitching, do you see right here how this has a double line and a dot and a double line and a dot?
Yeah.
And it's over here on some of these stitches as well.
With dots.
Those are the ones that are programmed that if I turn this on and I can see that on the screen, then when I start sewing, that one's going to automatically back stitch because I said, I want you to do that. Or this one will automatically tack stitch because I said, I want you to do that.
How does it know when you're done with a seam to do the back stitching or the tack stitching?
I just have to reach up, touch that one time.
Oh, nice.
It'll back stitch or touch that one time. So let's do it without and then with.
Okay.
And I'm going to do it on stitch number 3. That's just the one it defaults. And I've turned off that automatic back stitch. Okay. But we have to thread the machine first.
We do have to thread the machine, but so you know what?
It's super easy.
It's easy.
And if you watched our show, oh gosh, it's been a couple of months ago, we showed how to thread all of these different machines. I think we showed you how on this one, but it never hurts to show you again. Okay, so the first thing I want to do is I want to put my bobbin in. This is a class 15 bobbin. It's counterclockwise, but it's easier for me to tell you that's a letter P for perfect position. And then you'll remember. So I've got my presser foot up, and it is a lever for the presser foot on this one.
Okay.
And I got my letter P for
perfect positioning.
Thank you.
I was going to say prepared to sew because that's what you used to say to the kids at kids camp.
No, I always said perfect position.
No, you said prepared to sew.
Well, it all starts with a P.
It does start with a P.
That was part of kids camp, is we talked about how many things start with the letter P. Pins, perpendicular, parallel.
Prepared to sew.
Prepared to sew. Pressing. There's so many keywords.
Foot.
Presser foot. There we go. And I went up, around, cut it off.
Okay.
It's an automatic feed to the top bobbin.
Okay.
Love that. You don't have to pull it. You can, but you don't have to pull it up to the top.
Okay.
And hold on. So I've got that done. And then I'm going to put my thread on. So I've got my spool of thread. And I'm going to put it on the spindle. Put my spool cap on. And then it goes right here. Number 1. Number 2. And then I want my needle to be in the top position. And do you see right there, there's the take-up lever. If you're not sure, just put your needle down. Put your needle up. There's the top position. Some machines, it doesn't stick out of the top.
Right. Most modern machines, it doesn't anymore.
And then we're going to come down.
I think is a good thing.
We're going to go up, and we're going to come around.
I don't hit my face on it.
I know,
anymore.
I've done that too. I'm not the only one. I come back down for number 5. Number 6 is going behind that hook right there.
Yes.
And then we go in this little groove across number 7. And then there's a blade over there to cut it off right here. That was number 8. And I'm going to put my presser foot down, and I'm going to say number 9. And it popped that loop right through the eye of the needle, and then you pull the loop the rest of the way through.
Oh, so good.
So super easy to thread this machine, right?
Yeah. Love
All
it.
right. And we're on stitch number 3. And remember, we don't have our automatic back stitch turned on.
Okay, so let's see how it looks.
Okay, I'm going to get my piece of fabric ready. And I'm going to put that right under there. And right now, it's just going to sew forward because it doesn't know I want it to sew backwards.
Okay.
So I'm going to sew forward. And then when I get to the end of the line, if I wanted it to stop, it would stop. And then I could get my needle in the up position. And then I could come over here and cut my thread off. That's just a standard sewing. But what if I wanted it to back stitch right there?
Okay.
Well, if I don't engage this button over here, I can still do that. I would just go forward. And then I could say, now I want it to go backwards.
So you're holding it down.
I'm holding it down. And then I say, go forward. And when I get to the end, I could say, go backwards. And then go forwards with my foot controller. And then get my needle back up. And I would cut it off over here. So that's how you would typically do it. But if I have this engaged, because it has that double line right here, now when I do it, I'm not going to touch anything. I'm just pushing on the gas pedal. I'm going slow on purpose.
I'll make sure we can see it all.
It's going forward, and it's going to automatically go backwards. I'm not doing anything. And then it's going to go forward. I'll speed up a little bit.
Now, it doesn't know if you're sewing 3 inches or 3 yards.
Right, so when I'm done, I can say, okay, my foot is off the pedal. I'm going to touch that one time. It's going to go backward. It's going to go forward. And it's going to stop. And then I'm going to raise my needle up, and I can come over here and cut my thread again. I can't see it from where I'm sitting. I'm sorry. So it did that, but it did it as an automatic. This one, nothing. This one, I manipulated the buttons. This one, I had my automatic back stitch button on.
And then again at the bottom.
And again at the bottom. But then you say, but what about that tack stitch?
Okay.
So let me stitch number 4.
Okay.
It's the center needle position with the tack stitch. So again, if I wanted to do it without that engaged, I could just touch that button.
But then it's the same as what we've already seen.
The same thing we've already seen. But now I'm just going to show you on this time is going to tack, 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 and then sew. And then when I get to the end, I'm going to touch my tack button one time, and it's going to tack, 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 and I'll raise my needle, and I'll just use my scissors because I can see where my scissors are. And so it tacked, I crossed my line over. That's what happens when you sew from the side of a machine. It tacked here and it tacked right here, which that is great for your piecing, or if you don't want the bulk of a back stitch on there, but you want the locked stitch on there.
Yeah.
And that's all because this button is on here.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's got your automatic bobbin winder that functions pretty much like every other bobbin winder does. You just go back and around, pop it over this way, and it'll wind your bobbin. You got a tension dial up here. Speed control is nice because maybe you're getting this machine for someone who's a young sewer And if I have it on slow,
Mm-hmm.
then guess what's going to happen? I'm going to take off my back stitching there, or tack stitching. And if I'm going to floor it. You ready? I'm flooring it. Oh my gosh, I'm flooring it.
Still going slow.
It's going slow.
This was
great when you're teaching kids how to sew.
So, anecdote, this was the trick they played on me when they were teaching me to sew. They didn't tell me what it was. It wasn't quite as obvious on the machine on the front as it is now, but I started learning at half speed only to eventually discover it could go faster, when you guys felt like I wouldn't hurt myself.
So how many of you ever taught someone how to drive a car?
Yeah.
Okay, so when you get in there, you can't really slow it down. And if they push on the gas too hard, gosh, I mean, you don't even have to be learning how to drive. You can still do it. If you push hard, what happens? You go fast.
Yeah.
So you can slow it down. And why is that important if you're not learning how to sew?
Well, so if you're going through thick material, I bet that would be good.
Right. There are times when you really need it to be slower, to be more careful.
Yeah.
I know I get in a hurry sometimes, and sometimes I'll deliberately slow my machine down just so that I am being more careful.
Following curves, things like that.
If we put it on medium speed, I'll show you how fast it can go. That's medium speed, and I'm flooring it. Okay, and then I'm going to put it on top speed and floor it. So it has the ability to go the speeds that you want it to.
Sure.
But this is a great feature for so many different reasons.
Yeah.
So I think that's a key element, especially if you're looking at getting a machine for somebody who maybe is not as experienced. That's a really good tool. But even for an experienced sewer, you'll appreciate that it has some of these little extras on here. So I want to show you something else over here. Can you come back over here and look at this screen? So we have all of our different utility stitches up here. And then we go into some where it's like piecing and quilting stitches right here. That's what the P's and the Q's mean.
Okay.
And then we've got blind hemming, and then we've got a bunch of decorative and cross hatching, all these pretty stitches. And look, this is an entry-level computerized machine, and it has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 buttonhole options on it. That's pretty sweet. It's got a darning stitch and then some more decorative stitches, satin stitches. I love that it has all those options, because if you go a step below this, you are getting a rectangular button hole, buttonhole, not a button, a rectangular buttonhole. And I love that you have those options.
Oh yeah.
And it's a one-step buttonhole.
Nice.
Should we show how easy it is to do that?
If you like.
Okay. Oh, it's in the drawer. Let me get my needle up. Find my, there it is. So there's my buttonhole foot. I'm going to pretend like I have a button over here because I came unprepared. Your button would go in there so you know how big your button is.
Okay.
You drop off the foot you're not using.
Okay.
And then you're going to snap it on right here. That's what that little bar is. The button goes in the back. Whoop. I got it. There we go. And then there's a little lever right here. Can you see that? I'm going to pull that lever down, and it goes right behind that little white piece. Now, it knows how big my button is. My imaginary button you can't see is back there. And here's a trick. If you're using a mechanical machine, buttonholes go
back
forward, and then the bottom, and then they go backwards, and then they do the top edge of it. I sewed off the back edge of my fabric all the time because I was like, why is it going the wrong direction? It's not going the wrong direction. It is going backwards first. Here's the other thing I love about it. If I unplug this, and I have it on my fastest speed, you can do it at whatever speed you want. I just have to touch the button.
First, you got to tell it what buttonhole you're using.
You're right. I'm not on the right buttonhole.
You're not on a buttonhole at all.
Okay, so
let's roll all the way down. Do 47.
Number 47. Yeah, it won't do it at all if you don't pick the right stitch.
And it knew that she had the buttonhole foot on in part because that lever was down.
Right, but see, it says here I needed the A foot.
Yes.
All right, now I can do it.
Now you can do it.
Ready? How easy is that?
I love it.
All of this from the entry-level computerized sewing machine.
I mean, yeah.
It is a sweet machine. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and plug this back in. You can do it with the foot controller too. I just wanted to show you that you can do it without the foot controller. And then I would just need to get my seam ripper and cut that open. But that's how easy it was to make a buttonhole.
Nice.
Isn't it wonderful?
Yeah, that's a great machine.
It's a wonderful machine. It really is. The Baby Lock Jubilant. Okay. So
let's say we want to teach some kids. How are we going to do that?
Well, we have summer camp.
Okay.
It is called Project Sew, and we have it every summer. We've been doing this for years, and it is always a sellout crowd. If you know neighbor kids, grandkids, maybe nieces, nephews, church kids, somebody that wants to learn how to sew, we are more than happy to take on that task and teach the kids how to sew. We keep the class size limited so that we are giving kids excellent attention. We have a morning session or an afternoon session. It meets for 5 days in a row. And we have it at multiple stores on multiple weeks. So we have plenty of options available.
Definitely check on bsewin.com for the specific dates.
It would be hard for me to sit there and tell you at this store on this day at this time. It's kind of a little bit all over the calendar. But this is the time of year at spring break time. Parents start thinking, while their kids are at home with them, what am I going to do with my kids this summer?
So what are they going to make?
They are going to make some wonderful projects. Let me show you right over here. They are going to be making this fun little zipper. It's a pieced zipper bag, and they do some quilted sewing on it.
Yeah, look at that.
And then they put in a zipper.
Now, I won't lie. I added the fun little friendship bracelet.
Yeah, I don't know that we're doing.
I don't know if we will or
but
not.
we'll have a little, like at least a ribbon on it.
Yeah.
But isn't that fun? Learning how to put a zipper in.
Yeah, zipper, quilting.
And we don't know for sure which fabrics we're using. This is just some fabric we had when we made this one. They're also going to be making this duffel bag where they string the strings through it. It's lined.
Okay, nice.
And they get to
embroider
do
on it,
embroidery on it. Isn't that wonderful? And then they're also making this travel pillowcase with a little piping on here. Super cute little set. I love it. And you're getting great skills. I have said this for years, and I'm going to continue to say it. Sewing is a life skill.
Absolutely.
It's just as important as knowing how to cook. If you send kids off into the world and they don't know how to cook, they're going to come home and eat all your food at your house. If you don't teach them how to fix their clothes or make things, they're going to bring it to you and say, Mom, will you make this for me?
That's right.
And yes, I'll still make things for them, but it's great that they have the skill to be able to do it on their own. So this is the fun things that come along with that.
Okay.
And so I think I have a flyer here. I do. This is the Project Sew flyer. It is for kids ages 9 to 16. And the camp fee is $299. And for that $299, they're going to get all the fabrics, the instructions, the 5 weeks of learning.
5 days.
That's what I meant. 5 days.
5 days.
5 days.
We don't want them for 5 weeks. Sorry, parents.
5 days of thank you for catching me.
Yeah.
The 5 days of sewing, they will be learning all sorts of excellent information.
Yes.
They get to have snacks. They get to have fun. We have a party at the end of the week. And they also get a toolkit that has all sorts of sewing supplies in it. I mean, it is such a win-win situation to take this class.
And they take home a sewing machine.
They do. They go home with a sewing machine.
Yeah.
The one they go home with is the Zest. And the Zest is the entry-level
wonderful machine,
mechanical sewing machine. But we also have options for the kids that if they would like to do an upgrade to a higher level machine,
or even the wonderful
Jubilant, and it's really a great way to get into a machine and decide, you know what, I think I want to go with one that has a little bit more features on it. So we have all those options. But going home with the Zest, also a great option.
Wonderful.
It's a great starter machine as well. So that's what's going on with summer camp fun things.
So what else do we have going on?
We also have Learn to Sew. Now this is the adult version of class. This is for ages 17 and up.
Okay.
And in that class, again, it's a $299 class, and this is organized a little differently. It's on 4 different days.
Sure. Most grown-ups can't take off a whole week.
Take off a whole week for mornings or afternoons only.
Yeah.
And you'll also get a sewing kit. You'll also go home with a sewing machine. We provide the fabrics, and you make 2 different projects for that one. And it's a lot of fun. And if you go to the bsewin.com website, you can also see where to sign up for that one and get into that class. It is a wonderful experience to have an adult sewing class.
Learn a new skill.
And get to have a sewing machine.
If you didn't get to come to our summer camp, now you can come to Learn to Sew instead.
And then another thing we have going on is coming up in May, the end of May, 30th and 31st. This is in Oklahoma City because OESD's event center is in Oklahoma City. I think we've said it before, but we'll say it again.
We have.
OESD is based out of Oklahoma City. So we get to go use their event center. And I've been making some of these projects, so I know what's going on. And we have a sample of it. It is a little quilted bag, a patch, a luggage tag, a hat, a pashmina scarf,
and a postcard.
It is so much fun stitching this whole thing
They're so cute.
And if you are an Emerald member, then the price is 30% off.
Yeah.
And if you're thinking, well, wait a minute, I want to come to this class and I want it to cost less,
join
you can become an Emerald
membership.
Member. That's right. And if you're not sure what to do about it, one of the perks of Emerald membership is that you get to come to Emerald Club, but you get so many other things with it. And as I said, one of the best perks of it is that you get 30% off
if you do the Emerald Plus membership. Absolutely.
Emerald Plus membership. Yes. That's right. And it is well worth it. We've never done discounts on events on their fees. And so
it's been great to offer that to you guys.
It has been
year.
great.
Yeah.
It's a good savings. Clubs are still going on for the March clubs at a couple of stores. And then, of course, we'll be going on into April. If you join the Emerald membership, it's a year-round membership. So you can join anytime. And it will be for a full 12 months.
Okay.
So that's pretty exciting. So those are some fun things that we have going on.
Now, so what do you think we should give away this week?
Oh, well, we thought about that, and we wanted it to be something that would go really nicely with a Jubilant machine, or for that matter, any
with a lot of our machines.
Not all of them, but most of our machines can use these feet. And we have this wonderful 12-piece foot kit by Baby Lock, and in there, let me open this so you can see it a little bit better. In this foot kit, you have a braiding foot, shearing, gathering foot, roller foot, cording foot, 7-hole, open toe foot, invisible zipper foot, a 1/4-inch foot with guide, an 1/8-inch hemmer foot, a double cording welting foot, an edge joining foot, a Teflon foot, and a pin tuck foot.
Goodness.
It is wonderful feet. One of my favorites in here is this roller foot.
I really like the gathering foot.
Gathering foot's nice too.
This one here.
Yep, that one's good. 1/4-inch foot. And you might look and they go, well, I already have a 1/4-inch foot. Okay. Do you have the other?
Do you have that one? Or do you have,
I mean, I can have 2 of these. So we're going to be giving this away. And for those of you that maybe don't end up being the one that wins it, why don't we
do some discounts?
Do some discount on it.
Okay.
It's already at a great special.
Okay.
It's only $32 to buy this set, which that's a steal to get 12 feet for $32. What do you say we take 20% off?
Okay.
So that would take $6.40 off?
I think that sounds
that sounds great. So how do you win one of these?
You like share, or
and comment. And we know you're out there watching. We see how many views we get. I'm always amazed how many views we have. And it's not the same as how many share, and comments we have.
That's right. Win some free stuff.
Win free stuff. Yeah. So
now,
you're going to want one of those.
I have to tell you something.
What's that?
Mary wanted us to add a few more discounts this week.
Okay. What are they?
So what we're going to do is, we always know you need more stuff in your sewing room and more feet. So we're going to do the Sew Fine feet.
Let me open that up.
Open the box up for me. They've got a few different ones. These are going to be, this first box is some sewing machine feet.
It's got the 1/4-inch foot, the J foot, and the N foot.
Yes.
And these are made of a composite resin that does not scar and mark up and glides over fabric like butter.
Best feet. They're the best
feet.
They
are the best feet.
It also comes in a serger foot if you want to open that one
up. And this is if you have a combination serger machine from Baby Lock.
So an 8-thread.
This would be an Accolade, an Evolution, an Evolve, a Triumph, an Ovation. It'll fit
the
those.
List. Yeah.
Yep.
So we're going to do those for 30% off.
Hey, that's a good deal.
If you need more supplies for your sewing room, we're going to do Prim notions, which are the most adorable notions I think I've ever seen.
Aren't they so cute? They're so bright and colorful.
Everything from sewing pins to tape measures to marking pens to scissors. We're going to do Prim notions for 30% off. And then my favorite deal is we have, she's going to scooch some stuff here. We have these wonderful Genuine Collection beginners boxes. These come in beginning sewing, beginning serging, and beginning quilting kits. And normally these retail for $109. So you can see here they come with all kinds of goodies in
here,
them.
The sewing kit. Look at all these goodies that come in the serger kit.
And then this one's so big because I'm pretty sure it comes with a cutting mat. It may not even have a, oh, the picture's the back.
Oh, the picture's on the back.
Here, turn the whole thing over.
There we go.
And then that amazing, yeah. So these usually retail for about $100 to $109 a piece.
Oh.
If you buy them by, this one's time limited, tomorrow at 6 p.m. in store or online, you can get them for $49.
Wow.
Or if you take home a machine in the Genuine Collection, you will get it for free.
That's a great deal.
So call your store. You know you need another machine for travel or for the little one in your life, or just because you're starting out on your sewing journey. Get yourself one of those great sets.
That's right.
To start with.
And then remember, if you want to win a set,
and to win a set of feet
by Thursday at
5
p.m.
Yes.
Now, okay. I saw one other thing over here I wanted to talk to you
about.
Okay. And I'm just going to grab this real quick.
Oh, yes. One last reminder. Artful Embroidery is still coming up. Embroidery.
We have that going on in Tulsa and in Charlotte, North Carolina.
Yeah, home of Stephen Wilson.
It's a wonderful event where you're going to get to make one of these, and you're going to get, and if it's in Tulsa, you're making the cowboy boot. If you're in Charlotte, you're making this wonderful heart. And the amount of pre-made ones you get, because quite honestly, there's so many flowers on here, you wouldn't have time to stitch all of these out in the 2 days of the event. It is the case, the tools, the instruction, the inspiration of Steve Wilson.
Oh, yeah.
So please think about coming to the Artful Embroidery event.
Absolutely. Don't miss the chance.
We've given you some really great ideas to get you either in the very beginning stages of sewing, or maybe you're wanting to move along into a good way to travel and sew, or maybe you just want to have fun and try out something new in your sewing studio.
Absolutely.
Thank you for joining us. We look forward to hearing from you as always. Give us a like, share, and comment so that we know that you're out there watching us. Thanks for joining us at Be Sew In. We'll talk to you again next Tuesday.
Bye.
Bye.